Making a good spy movie is difficult. It requires a good plot, good actors, and a director able to convey the story in a way that isn't boring. All of that shouldn't be hard to do, but modern movies show that it's apparently a Herculean feat. Mission Impossible is one of those franchises that regularly does well with that stuff and recently has been kicking it out of the park. Ghost Protocol, Rogue Nation, and Fallout have so far not just been the most financially, but also critically successful movies of the franchise, and for good reason. Having seen Mission Impossible Rogue Nation when it came out, going into Fallout, I had pretty high expectations, and normally with my expectations, I'm disappointed. Rarely does a film surpass what I expect of it, and this movie did, and I'm glad it did. Mission Impossible Fallout is a cinematic masterpiece in my opinion. This isn't to discredit any others that are regarded as such, nor is it to suggest that this is revolutionary filmmaking. It isn't. It's good, but it's not on that level. It's really refreshing to watch a movie like this and see that so much of it is practical effects and stunts and not green screens. There's really impressive stuff that can be done using CGI, but as cool as that stuff is, nothing can really trump seeing that shit with cameras that show how fucking real and authentic it is. Seeing Tom Cruise climb up a helicopter and seeing it through the lens of a fisheye GoPro lens is pretty fucking amazing. All of it is very good, but in particular there's one scene in Mission Impossible Fallout where Tom Cruise jumps out of a plane, and the majority of the scene is shot authentically without CGI, and it's mesmerizing to say the least. It's not something required for good filmmaking. Good filmmaking can use shitty effects, but through vision and direction can be fantastic. But when you're a talented director with a talented cast and a well-made plot, you create a stunning piece of art that scene after scene, shot after shot, continually wows by the sheer fact that what you're seeing was what happened. No Hollywood magic. You saw him jump out of a plane. You saw him climb up a helicopter. You saw him run across building rooftops. Now, while the shot movie is obviously an important aspect of filmmaking, an equally important part of it is the acting and performances given by the cast. And in Fallout, it's there. The film stars Tom Cruise, Henry Cavill, Simon Pegg, Ving Rhames, and Rebecca Ferguson, who returns from 2015's Rogue Nation. All of them give great, well-measured performances. Much of this film, despite its outlandish and impossible plot, is rooted in authenticity, albeit as close as you can get with a movie. Authentic acting, authentic stunts, authentic sets. It all looks genuine and beautiful. And I don't say this with many movies. Most movies have very trite plots, but the story was really good in this one. It follows a similar theme to the rest of the Mission Impossible movies, but as I said, it's not trite. And with the exception of the spy movie superfan, most people will be able to be surprised by this movie. There are only two issues with Mission Impossible Fallout. One is critical, the other is subjective. The critical one is that for better or worse, the movie dives into the action with practically no pause. It's fun, but fast. A fast 2+ hours of action that barely slows down, but it does have a few moments where it does pause just for a little bit. It can be a bit draining after you're watching the movie. Not because it's boring, but because there's just so much action and stuff happening that you're constantly thinking throughout. I personally really liked it, but for some people, this might be not what they're wanting out of a spy film. The subjective one is that, frankly, while the plot is different, it's not that much different from most spy movies. And if you're a bigger fan of indie films, Fallout will be one of those movies that you'll forget about. Average moviegoers, not so much. Mission Impossible Fallout is one of the best action films I've ever seen. It's beautiful, big, and full of great real stunts and lots of Tom Cruise running places. Maybe a bit too much. A villain with an interesting motive and enough suspense that for a second there, you think to yourself, well fuck, did that really just happen? I give it a 9 out of 10. This may seem high, but I really enjoyed it and also felt that it was a really fucking well-made film. I think it'll entertain the vast majority of people, and I don't think many people are gonna walk out of there feeling like they wasted their money. Those that will, I don't think you'd go to see it anyway. Anyway, so yeah. That's it. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to leave a like and comment what you thought of it all and what stuff you'd like to see me talk about next. If you had your own thoughts about the movie, please let me know below. I'd love to hear if you liked it or if you hated it. Matter of fact, if you hated it, I'd really like to know why. Make sure to subscribe to see more content like this in the future and hit that bell icon to turn on notifications. And it's summertime, or at least it will be for about a month. So I'd like any good YouTuber, I'm going to shut myself out because, ooh-wee, profit margins. I've got some merch, and if you'd like to support me in the channel, please check it out. I personally recommend the premium tee option. It's as comfortable as wearing a shirt made of the cotton from a Whimsicott, that one Pokemon who's like 80% cotton. And if t-shirts aren't your thing, don't worry, we've got sweatshirts, hoodies, mugs, and plenty more. The link for that and everything else you'd need is in the description below. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.
If you'd like to have your art featured in a video, draw me or one of my wondrous characters, such as the majestic Chad the Sad, and tweet it at Tahukan TV on Twitter. Huge thank you to Patreon supporters Anonymous and Matt Porter. I really appreciate it.